Hi guys, can you hear me on here? Let me know. Of course, I'm not set up yet, so I'm gonna set my computer up real quick. I did get a new laptop, so I'm putting that together real quick right now. Just trying to sign in. I wanted to do all this earlier, but I didn't have time, so I'm just trying to do it really quick because I never have a computer by me to talk to you guys. So I wanted to do this really quick. How are you guys tonight? Sorry, I'll be there in 2 seconds. It's so weird because I just got a new MacBook Pro because I stole my daughter's desktop Apple computer, and so I've been wanting to get a MacBook, but I've always had PCs, so I don't even know how to use Apple until I took my daughter's computer. So just all the buttons and stuff are weird. It's different, so I'm still learning it, but yeah. So tonight it's just going to be pretty much another work with me. I have a lot of orders to get through from over the weekend. I've been starting to not print them out on Friday until about Monday, and then Monday morning I print them out so I could spend more time with like my friends and family and stuff like that over the weekends, and just work throughout the week. So I've been trying to do that. It's been difficult just because work is busy and whatnot. So yeah, so Mondays are just always really hectic for me. So I'm just trying to get back in the swing of things, and yeah. I didn't realize there was so many like setup features on here. Like, can I just get to the point? Okay, hold on.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
Nope, set that up later. Thank you. Are you guys working with me tonight, or are you just gonna chat? I keep wanting to press it, but it's not a press thing, so it's different. Okay, we're almost there, I promise. I think we're there. Okay. think I'm in. Okay, who's here? Let's see, got it. Hi Connie, I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. How are you? You laying in bed? Working? Was working, got some dinner, so eating. Nice. I made chicken enchiladas tonight for the family, so those were yummy. I feel like I haven't seen you guys in so long. How is everybody? So I know I said it last time that I'm gonna get back on track, I promise. It's just this whole month has been, actually like the month and a half, it has just been crazy, like chaotic. My kids were sick. Just so many things have happened this last month that like I just can't get on track. So today I am just like trying to get on track. So I'm gonna plug this in because I just literally just opened it and I don't know like how much they charge it. Ah, there's a fly in here. Okay. Bake ziti. What is that? I feel like I know what that is and I don't know, I can't think of it. Hi everyone. Okay, so we are gonna work on orders. I have some blankets to do. I have just a lot of everything to do. So I need to I haven't been out here once today, but I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna skip a live again because I've skipped like 2 of them and then I had 1 and then I skipped 2 again. So I just, like I said, I just need to get back on track. So I haven't been in the shop at all today. I watched my niece and I had my kids too because their school's out. So it's just been, again, crazy. So I haven't even figured out what I want to work on tonight. So all of my orders are set up over there. Half of them are cut out and the other half aren't. So I'm going to work on probably the ones that need to get out the soonest. I also have a couple like custom orders and then still working on like my actual website, beingandbliss.com, because the invoicing system on there, we're still trying to work on it. I'm getting orders, but it's confusing because we can't figure out a good invoice. Obviously I can print the order out, but it's a little bit confusing. I mean, let me show you what I mean. So like when an order comes in, this is what it's looking like. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's no picture on it. There's nothing on there. So I have to like know exactly what they're ordering. And if I don't know what they're ordering, then I have to go to my website and look it up and figure out exactly what product they are. Etsy is a little different and I really, really love their invoicing system because as soon as you print it out, you can see there's a picture on there. So you don't have to reference it every time. So that's what I'm trying to work on my website creators with, is just trying to get like a simple, good invoicing system because A, that's going to make it quicker for me to get their orders out and not have to like sit there and figure out what they've ordered and whatnot. So that's what I'm working on currently with my website developers. So yeah, it's just like little things like that that I've noticed that I need to change. And then also I got an order today and the ad option for embroidery on their names is supposed to be like an upcharge and it didn't do that on my website. So obviously I can't go in and charge them more because they already ordered it. So that needs to be fixed. So when making your own website, it's just little things like that that you notice when it happens. It's not something that you know right away. It's something that you have to find out later when it's happening. So you just have to pay attention to all that little stuff. So let's see here. Hi Liz, how are you? Hi Michelle. Hi Angela. Yeah, my kids, I had to take my son to the hospital again last week, so that's another reason why I've been kind of missing. He's better now, so both of the kids are on the mend. They're healthier. They still have, you know, the nasty runny nose and the cough and whatnot, but they're not contagious and they don't have fevers or anything like that. So everything is looking up and getting back on track. So it's good. All right, I'm gonna turn the camera around this way and I'm gonna go grab some of my orders. Sorry, my brother just came in. I didn't even know he was standing there and he's like, hey. So I'm gonna go start working. I'm gonna have my computer on me all night, so if you guys have questions, I can actually see what you guys are saying for the first time ever, so this is kind of nice. And hopefully it doesn't mess up on me because I've never had a MacBook Pro laptop like this. So anyway, I'm gonna turn the camera around. I'll be right back. What's up? Sure?
Yeah.
I wanna get that.
Oh, wait, that's it. Okay?
All right, hurry. Okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm gonna put you guys this way because I'm gonna be at the table over here, I think. Okay, so these ones need to go out by the 8th, by the 9th, I'm sorry, the 9th. So I hope you guys can hear me. June 11th. So this one needs to be done, these ones don't need to be done yet. Okay. So these right here need to be done by the 9th. Did I say that? Yeah, the 9th. And I have a blanket, I have some leggings and bunnies, some rompers, just a bunch of everything like normal. Sorry, he's leaving, so it's gonna be loud for a second. Here's another perfect example of one of my website orders. So this is a pretty big order, but this is how the invoices come. I don't want to show you the name, but they come like this, and I'm so frustrated with it because like it just says like all the information and then the price, and then on the back it's a double page one. So I have to go through each one if I don't know what it is, and figure out what they ordered. So they ordered 2 blankets because they had twins, and so she ordered 2 of everything, and she added personalization on it, but it didn't add the upcharge. So I charged $10 or $9.99. I think on my website it's $9.99 for the name, whether it's a 1 name or 2 name, it doesn't really matter to me. A name is a name. So I don't charge extra for a double name, but they didn't charge it on my website. So that's what we need to add on there. So I need to work on that. And then what else? Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you guys. So we're working on, in order to sync up my website with my Etsy site with inventory, because my main concern with the 2 sites being together was the inventory, because that's a lot of like tracking and I didn't want to have to do that. So my main concern or goal with my website was to make sure the inventory was synced every time somebody ordered something. And right now it's not, because I have to go through each item on my Etsy site and make a SKU number for it so they can sync it and all this other stuff. I don't know. So I'm working on that. But then another thing is the only way that they can sync it is by the tags, titles, and descriptions on Etsy. So if you look at like just a simple website and they just have like whatever bear baby blanket, for instance, as the title, you know how Etsy has this whole huge title that you have, like mine says baby blanket, floral baby blanket, minky baby blanket, striped baby blanket, boho baby blanket, you know, the whole thing. You have to type out all that stuff on Etsy. The only way for them to sync it on my website was to actually continue that on my website. So this whole description is synced from Etsy. And I hate that. It's so gross. I think the look of it is really bad, but there's no other way for me to sync it, so they say. I'm investigating and I'm looking into it and trying to figure out a way for me to sync it without having to do that, because I don't like the look of it. I don't like how much, you know, just how big the title is on my website. So if you haven't looked at my website and you see that, that is why it's like that. It's not my choice. I wish it was, but we're working on it. So anyway, I need to work on this order too. So, yeah, lots of stuff to do. All right, I'm gonna bring, I think this computer is okay right now on charging. Yeah, it's got a full battery. So I'm just gonna move my computer over here to see if you guys have any questions for me, or want to talk, or have anything to say. I have my computer right here now, so that's nice. Do you happen to have cut measurements for 3 to 4, 4 to 5 skirts? I think they got the elastic figure out, but not the width and length of the fabric. Andrea, yes. Are you ready? I have them right here, actually. I don't even make a template for my skirts. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me over here? Okay, cool. So I don't even make templates because I just have the measurements out. So there's no reason for me to waste my time on making templates for each skirt size. So I just write them down and use them as I need them. Sorry guys, let me tighten this a little bit. Just moving you guys a little bit closer here. What is happening? Okay. Sorry guys, my phone thing is very loose, so I'm tightening it. All right, there we go. It was about to fall off there. Okay. Okay, so what size? 3 to 4? Okay, 3 to 4 is 21 inches on the stretch by 16 inches width or length, whatever you want to call that. So 16 inches this way by 21 inches this way. And then the elastic for 3 to 4 is 19 inches. And again, on my skirts, I use a casing. So you want to cut it at 19 inches and then do the casing. A size 4 to 5 is 21.5 inches on the stretch by 17.25 this way. 17.25, 21.5. And I cut 2 of those out. You can cut one long one if you want, if you just want to double the 21.5 and just keep the 17.25 and just serge one side. I like to serge 2 sides because I like them on each sides of the legs. That way I can center it better. I don't know, that's just my preference, but you can do it either way you want. There's no right or wrong way to do that. And then the elastic for 4 to 5, I do at 19.5 inches. I miss hanging out with you too, Sarah. I miss hanging out with all of you guys. I promise I'm gonna be on track. I keep saying that, but I really promise. I feel like it's been forever since we've been in this workspace. I know, right? Okay. On my wish list is to have the workspace like you have. I think I'll start a funny account. You guys, my space is so disastrous right now. I have all of this fabric that I need to put away, and I haven't had time to even do it. I have inventory, like shirts on my counter. I have stuff everywhere. I did just get these new things in. I want to show you guys actually, if you want to come with me really quick. I know I move you guys a lot, but that's the fun thing about this live, right? We get to be interactive. So here we go. I'm going to turn you guys around. Okay. So again, don't look at my messy garage. I'm going to point you guys this way. Look at all this fabric I need to put away. Like, come on. So much fabric. Okay, so this is all inventory. I'm sure you guys have seen all this. I got these new shelves in. I love them because I'm short. I'm a short person. And they're up on top of a, when I had cats, this was my like cat bin. I cleaned it out. It's perfectly clean. I keep all of our board games in it now. So anyway, it's a good safe like space to put something on top of. And these shelves are only 36 inches high. It's amazing because I'm short and I can reach above it. So my plan is I'm getting another one. It's on its way. I wanted to get one and test it to see if I liked it before I bought 2 of them because they were pretty pricey and I didn't want to buy them and not really know. So what I plan to do, I put all of my like onesies in here and then all of my boy tees in here. And then these are things that I've gotten that I haven't even done anything with. They're just like the baby sets. And so I haven't done anything with those yet. But then in my other bin, I'm going to put my embroidery shirts in my inventory. And then all of these in these boxes, I keep wanting to organize it. I just haven't been able to yet, but I want to put them all on rolls like that so I can actually see my colors because I have so many colors in here and down here that I don't even know. I have to search for them every time I need them. So trying to get organized, guys. It's a struggle. Okay, I got to put you back on the charger because I don't want it to die. Okay. Do I make potty training underwear? No, I don't. I've never even thought about that. I blame you for my purchase. I tell my husband Amber is that fabric. I am addicted to fabric. I love fabric. Thank you. I've met this you can want to make something quick. If I had the same thing, I really must do it. You mentioned a professional bobbin winder. What model winder do you have? My sewing machine is winding the threader under the bobbin. I love my bobbin winder. It's right here actually, and it is, let's see, let me take this off of here so I can show you. It is called, I got it on sewingmachinesplus.com. I can't really take it apart, so I'll just do this again for you. It's this one right here. And it is, I don't even know what it's called. It has a model number on it. Actually, I can turn it around for you. Woo. So it's the bobbin winder set. If you want to write that model number down, I love this one. It works so good and it literally winds the bobbins super fast. And I got it on sewingmachinesplus.com. So hopefully that answers your question. Sorry guys, you're going for a ride already. Yeah, I think everyone's addicted to fabric. Well, I mean, why else would you be on here, right? Okay, so this was actually, I'm adding a new product to my website. I'm gonna put this to the side because I need to actually work on it later. I'm going to start offering matching pillows, like toddler pillows for crib, or like for toddlers or babies. So when they get a blanket from me, they can get a matching pillow. So obviously you don't use a pillow when you're an infant, but as you get older, like my 3-year-old loves his pillow now, and so I made him a pillow that has the same minky fabric on the front side, and on the back side of the pillow I put the faux fur. So it's just a simple, kind of like an envelope style pillow that they can wash, and it's just exactly like their blanket, so they're snuggly and comfy all around in their bed. And I just thought that was the cutest thing ever, to be able to offer a lovey, a blanket, and a pillow matching set. So that is one of my newest projects I'm working on right now. So a customer of mine wanted me to make her one in the matching fabric that she had bought in a blanket from me a while back, probably like, I don't know, maybe a year ago, I'd say, quite a while ago. And so I had to look up her order and figure out what fabric she got, and she had got this really cute bunny and bear fabric. So I'm gonna make her a pillow to match it. So I'm super, super excited about this new project that I have going on. And I thought it was just a really cute idea. So I'm gonna put that to the side. Also, I'm going to be bringing back, I think I've mentioned it before, for the shop I'm in locally, I make bandana bibs and burp cloths. I don't have them on my website. I used to, I took them off, but I'm going to be bringing them back because I want to start doing, I'm starting to do more like matching sets, and so I wanted to be able to have that option if they wanted to get a matching burp cloth and bib, burp cloth and bib set. So in all of my fabric choices that I have, it's going to be a matching set. So that is what I'm working on as well, just cutting all that out. So I need to just go through each print that I have and cut them out and actually make them with any spare time I may have, and I can't seem to find that right now, so it's taking me a really long time to do anything right now. But I already have this blanket prepped from yesterday, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm gonna cut these out as well right now. So 12 to 18 month bummies, I need to cut that out. And I think I told you guys on my last live, I'm actually liking this. I love, love, love my Quilter Select rotary blade or rotary cutter. But when I cut my bummies out, because of this little curve on the bottom right here, I just love this little tiny, just this little teeny tiny rotary blade. I really like it. So I use this for everything else though. So I don't know, I think I pulled these out a while ago. Let me make sure my heat press is on because I use that for everything. Yeah, I guess I turned it on earlier and I don't remember. The model number, let me look. BW02. Yeah, model number is BW-02. It's super easy to use too. I know, you guys, I just got this new computer and I literally just opened it before this live. So I'm gonna be able to start making more videos for you guys and doing them a lot faster. So I'm excited about that too. I have a lot of content. I have actually like a list of stuff I wanna do for you guys. So I'm gonna start getting that going and having stuff for you guys to watch and hopefully learn from. are empty right now, and it's freaking me out because they're always usually full. I usually have everything prepped in here so I can just grab it, and it's empty right now. So I don't even like to look at it because I like it full. But that's life, right? I don't think that these are gonna fit. Nope. So these right here are for my nursing pads. So I can just grab it. I just make sure it's a 5-inch square, and then I can just grab and go. And this isn't going to work either. So. All of these down here that I grab are just like extras that I've cut off the bolt that are just like random pieces. So I just go through and see if I can use them for anything, and if I can't use them for any like cuffs or anything like that, then I'll use them for the nursing pads. So, because see how this is on the stretch, I can't do anything with this little piece right here. It's too thin. So unless it's like a romper cuff, I can cut out 1 and 1. So that is why I keep these little pieces. I always like to cut double out at a time because it's faster, it saves time, but if I can't and it's just like this little piece right here, then I'll cut 2 separate ones out. It's just all about time management and just trying to use the most of my fabric. I never waste it. So I'm going to prepare you guys now. I'm just gonna be working along. So ask questions, talk to each other, get off when you need to get off, because it's gonna be probably another long live because I have a lot of work orders to do. So do what makes you happy. My last live, I think, was like 5 hours, and I had no idea it was that long until I looked at it. I was like, how did I go to 5 hours? It's just like when you work during the day, you don't realize how long you've been working. When you've actually been working for a while, you don't realize it. It goes by quick. So like this piece, I hate it because I can't do anything with it, so I have to throw it away. This one I can use as a cuff. So I'm gonna put that back down there. I can't use any of these. So I hate having to cut off just for those little pieces. But I always get the rainbows in anyway, so it doesn't matter. And I'm gonna cut off a whole strip because I get 12 to 18 months. Everyone I talk to has a different like, not price point, but a different size point, I guess, if you want to say that. So 12 to 18 months is one of my most popular sizes that I sell. So whenever I get something for 12 to 18 months in like a specific print, and I only have 1 to cut out of it at the moment, I'll go ahead and cut the strip out because I know I'm going to get another 12 to 18 months, and I'm not scared to like waste any of this fabric. So that is what I'm going to do right here. And what I usually do, most prints are kind of like staggered that I have, but there's always like one, like I can say the end of the star, the end of the heart, I just go across and cut instead of getting my ruler out and doing all that stuff. I just kind of cut underneath of it. Line it up as I go. Or eyeball it. It's never a perfect straight line, but that's okay. I don't really care. Am I missing anything? Hi, Alicia. It's only 9 here. Where did I get the clear bins behind me? These I got on Amazon. So literally I just search like whatever size I'm looking for, and then I put either acrylic clear bins, because I love the acrylic. I don't want like plastic. So they're a little bit pricier, but they're gonna last longer, I think, and I just like them better. So like this is an acrylic bin. I think this one is like 9 by 12, and this is what I put either extra inventory that I cut out. I put these in here so that I can just grab and go. Because sometimes if I get an order like for these and I know I'm going to sell another one, sometimes I'll just cut 2 out at a time. And then I never cut more than that though, because I don't want to waste my fabric. But yeah, I knew I wanted for boys and girls, and then my 2, because this right here is for my nursing pads. So this is girl fabric, boy fabric, and then this right here is the outside padding of the pad, and then this right here is the inside waterproof layer. So I knew I wanted 4 bins together that would fit in here. So you can literally just search whatever size you're looking for, and I just put in clear. I like to see what I'm looking at. I want to go this way. Also, you guys, if you haven't heard, I am doing another live with Sewing Machines Plus. They're doing their Hoop Fest. It's the 14th through the 19th. I'm actually on the 19th, and I think I'm the very last person to go. So I start at 12:30. I'm from 12:30 to 1 Pacific Standard Time on the 19th. So I'm getting super nervous about that. I know I'll be fine, but just, you know, the nerves start kicking in when you get closer. But I'll link that in my description, and I'll link it on my community tab as well, just like I did tonight for the live. So be looking out for that. There's going to be a lot of great things on the Hoop Fest. Each day they have different classes and different things going on, so you don't want to miss it if you're interested in embroidery. It is going to be amazing. And I'm just going to be on there talking about like how to make money with embroidery, basically my Etsy shop and how I got started and all that good stuff. So mine, because you guys are on here, you probably already know all the stuff I might be saying, but I would love for you guys to support me on there anyway. Oh, Alicia, you're so sweet. You don't have to do that. Thank you. I know, I feel like I have been so out of it on YouTube lately, like with watching people, with me being on here, everything. So I just need to get my life situated right now. I'm gonna put these over here. So what I do is I cut everything out, And then everything I need to work on, I'll put like on that table. But I never put probably more than, I guess, 5 to 6 orders on that table at a time. I try to stick to 5, but if it's just like a bummy, then it's fine. Those are super easy. I don't like to overwhelm myself. With that table, I like to be able to spread my stuff out and work on it. So that's why I keep all my orders over here, and then I just grab and pull from them when I'm ready for another one. So I like to do 5 at a time. So now this is extra, and I'll just fold it, and I'll put it down here in the bin. And I always pretty much know what print is down there because I use the same ones a lot of the time. Yeah, don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you like my lives or my videos, and helps me be seen. Okay, so I need to make it, what is this one? Okay, so this one doesn't have a name. I'm gonna cut this one out last because it's a blanket and they get messy. So 3 to 6, 6 to 9, and 2T3T. So these are all leggings. And this one is a romper. So I like to like organize them, romper. So these 3 are rompers. So I'm gonna do the leggings first, really quick, and then we'll do the romper. So I'll be right back. So these ones are already done. He just didn't do, I'm talking to myself back here, you guys can probably hear me. But he cut them out, I just need to prep them. So I'm gonna turn the camera around. The leggings he already cut out, I didn't think he cut the waistbands out, but he cut them out already. So I don't need to cut them, which is nice. I just need to cut the blanket. So I'm gonna go grab, unless I have some down here, let me look. So down here, I keep all of my extra blanket. So this is mainly for loveys. Sometimes every now and then I'll throw like a bigger piece in there that could be for a blanket, but most of the time they're loveys. So I'm going to look and see it's the bare one. And I don't have it in here, I don't think. Well, I actually do. Let me measure it just to make sure. I don't know what you guys do your blankets at, but I do all of my baby blankets, unless they request a certain size. All of mine are 27 by 35. I'm sorry, 26 by 35. I cut them at 27 by 36 because I like to leave enough room for the seam allowance and all that other stuff. So when they are all set and done, they come out to be 26 by 35. That's what's, I think, on my description. And we've got a perfect one cut out already, so that's nice. I just like that because with spoon flower, they are 54 inches wide on the yard. And so when I get the yard in, I just fold it in half and then fold it in half again on the fold, cut it, and I have 4 blankets. So I can get 4 blankets out of 2 yards of fabric. So that's what I do. And I think it's a good size for, they're intended for newborn, basically. Newborn to, I don't know, I'd say a year to 2 years. And then anything after that, you want to go bigger for a toddler. But a lot of people, like my son still uses his blanket, and they mainly use it just for like comfort, not to actually like cover up with when they get a little bit older. So as they get older, you just make them a bigger size. But so mine are intended for young little ones. I'm gonna go grab the faux fur. I'll be right back. So I've been trying to keep my fur on the reel so that I'll show you how I do it. It makes it super simple, for me anyway. So the way I do it is I know this fur kind of has like not a swirl, but it's just like all over, so you don't have to make it go a directional way. So I don't pay attention to that, and I don't cut it like this because that's wasting a lot of fabric, right? Because you have the other piece underneath. And I also don't want to fold it back up and have that other piece flapping around everywhere because I could use it for a lovey. So what I do to actually save fabric is I cut it this way. And I know that this is on the fold right here, so there's the other piece underneath of it. So all this extra fabric right here is gonna come from underneath, if that makes sense to you. I don't know if I'm explaining that right. But then the extra fur from the underneath part, I use for my loveys. So then I just put that in the bin down there, and I grab from that when I need this green fabric for a lovey. So that's how I've been doing it, and it's been working out great with like just saving on cutting too much like excess fabric. And I just do like an inch off of the edge just to give me a little bit of wiggle room because minky slides around. It's going to get loud now because I need my handy vacuum. I always empty it before I start a new project. I'm just going to read a couple of these first before I start. Hi everyone who's just coming on. I hope you're having a good evening. Trying to hang out late because you all know my lives are late and long. See all that fur? It's so much fur. You have to get underneath, because sometimes if you forget to do the underneath, you go to move it, it goes everywhere. That's why I like to use the blade and cut it, but sometimes it's not worth it to take it off of here and try to do it that way, so I'll just use the scissors. But it does get messy. But if you all don't have one of these vacuums, you need to get yourself one. Because now there's no mess, and it's amazing. But it does really fill up. This like whole thing is full already. Whew. Lots of fur. Yes, I love the machine, or this. Also, I don't know if you guys have these clips, but these clips are amazing. I got them on Amazon too, and they came in like a whole bunch of them, but they're just fabric clips, and I just clip them on here, especially for this fur, because it's slippery. It likes to slide around when you have them in on the bins like this, or I'm sorry, whatchamacallit. What did I have a brain fog. What are these called? Bolts, the bolts. When I have them on the bolts like this, I like to use these clips, and it holds it so good in place. So those are a really nice investment if you need something like that. I know it's kind of ridiculous, like you have like a two-part thing, cut it, clean it, and then cut it again. But if it saves my fabric and just to be able to use it for other products, then I'm gonna do it. So then I just measure it on here. This time I will use the blade, the X-Acto knife, and cut the back of it, because then I won't have to vacuum again. It'll just cut nice and clean. So I just leave enough room on all sides. And then I just use my X-Acto knife. I keep calling it a rotary blade. And then no hair will come up on here. And then this little piece right here, I can get 2 levies out of this. So 1 levy, 2 levy. And then I really don't waste that much fabric, because the levies have that little tag up at the corner, and I do them opposite. And then I use this whole piece right here for my levies. So it just works out perfect. And I keep this down here in these bins as well, in a different bin. I have one for the prints, and then I have one for the fur. Yeah, Nellie, I'm cutting out one right now, and then I'll be making one. I have another one over here. They're actually the same exact blanket, but one just has a name on it, and I already embroidered the name on it, so I just need to sew it. Alicia, the green, the fur, or the print? Yeah, fabric.com is where I get this green. I get all of my fur from fabric.com. It's the Shannon Lux minky, the Shannon Lux Cuddle, to be exact. It's the only one I buy. I just like it personally. I like the way it looks. It's almost like a marbled look. So I have all of my prints are mainly watercolor, and so it just gives it dimension. And I feel like with the solid, I mean, I do have like a solid black and a solid white and a solid gray, but like my actual colored minky, it's like a marbled color. So I just think it looks prettier when it's like a light and dark. So I always pay attention to which way it's going. I did it opposite, I don't know why, but usually the pattern, I usually put it on going up instead of this way. So now I gotta make sure that my tag, I always want my tag on this side after I flip it, so I'm gonna leave my opening over here. So that's just me. I like to be the same with everything, so every blanket I make, I want to be exactly the same because of the inventory I do for the shop. I want all of it to be exactly the same. I want my tags to be on the same side. I want them all to be the same. So I've just gotten a habit of where do I put the tag on each item. And if I have, the only difference is if I do have like an embroidered name, I put the embroidered name in the bottom right corner always. I don't know why, I've just always done that. So then I'll put my tag on the opposite corner. So I just always have to pay attention to that, if there's a name on it or not, and then which way the print is going. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do that. You can put your tag wherever you want. I just like to have it the same in everyone. I'm a weird pinner too. I like to go and do like, usually I'll do the corners and then I'll do the middles just so the blanket doesn't move around as I'm pinning. So I always do like the X or the cross, and then I'll do like the corners on each one just to make sure my square doesn't move around. And then I'll start pinning just throughout each one. So then I'll always pin each corner on each side of the corner. And then I'll always leave like, this is where I want my tag opening. So this is where I'll put like a horizontal pin that way. So I know that's where I need to stop. And then I usually go, so this is the middle and end. I'll usually put a pin in the middle right here. And then I'll put a pin in the middle right here. And then I just kind of go throughout each one. Again, I'm a weird pinner. Don't listen to me on that. I think it's just made it like faster for me because if I do the middle and then the middle and then I do the middle of each of those. It's a psychological thing, I think. Did you guys do anything fun this weekend? Okay. So that's done. And I usually just like fold it a little bit so I don't poke myself. And I always fold down the top so that I know that this like open corner right here, this is where I'm gonna start my sewing and then go around the whole perimeter of the blanket and then come back to my stopping point. And that's just, this is just kind of how like I prepare myself so the blanket doesn't take up the whole room in my area over here. So I just fold it like that, leaving this little area out, and I put it over here on my table, knowing that this one's ready to go next. So I just put it down here. I keep thinking I can just like tap it and it'll go up, but you have to actually click it on this one. It's not like a touch thing. Thanks, Michelle. I couldn't think of the word. I was like, brain fart. Glad I caught your live to see how a minky blanket is made. Yeah. So I just cut it out. I measure mine, like I said, 27 by 36. And then by the time it's set and done, after you cut the edges off and stuff, it comes out to be 26 by 35. And it's super easy. I'm gonna sew these two up really quick and you can see how I do it. Okay, I think I'm all caught up. You guys can, I'm gonna move my computer over here so you guys can still chat to me while I'm over here. It's kind of cool having a nice little computer that I can just move around with you guys. I'm going to move I have to move you guys over there so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna plug you in over there. So you're going for a journey again. Okay. So I had two of the same blankets that I needed to do, but one of them had a name on it and then one of them didn't. So they're gonna be exactly the same color, same print. And my chair got moved somehow. Are you guys weird about your chair? Like, where does it go? I have to have it in like a certain spot when I sew. And my pedal has to be in a certain spot. Like, I'm just very particular about weird stuff. So this is what I meant by leaving my little corner out. So I know that this is where I'm starting. This side over here has the name. I don't know if you can see that, but the name is in this corner. So I always like to cover the part that's not being started on. And this is the side that I am going to start on. So I just know that I need to leave an opening right there. And my sewing machine, I use this sewing machine mainly for blankets, and I leave it, it has like a setting that it remembers each time I turn it off, it'll remember the setting that I had it on. And so I just hit OK when I turn it on because it's asking me if I wanted to use the same setting, and I just always use the same setting because I'm always using blankets on this machine. So I just go, it's so fast. And yes, I do sew with my needles or my pins in the blanket. They're very ultra fine pins and I've never had an issue with it. I know you're not supposed to, but it's my machine, so I feel like, if I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. And watch, something happens while I'm on a live. No, I'm just kidding. You have to be careful because sometimes the minky bunches up. That's why you see me kind of pulling it a little bit. I'm not pulling it very tight. I'm just stretching it a little bit so that it flattens out as I sew it. That's the only thing you have to worry about with minky is like when on the stretch, it gets a little bit of a bulk right there, but you just move with it and then it'll be fine. That's why sometimes I go slower on the sides right here where it is stretchy because I don't want it to bunch up right there. But another thing that I've learned that is if it does slightly bunch up a little bit, like right here it's going to, when I go to pull it right side out and then I do my top stitch, you're never going to be able to see a little tiny like overlap like that. I used to be so scared about it, but it's not going to do anything. Otherwise, sometimes I'll take the pin out like I just did, and then I'll just readjust it right here as I'm sewing, and I'll pull the corner like that so it's pulled taut instead of like being all wrinkled up like that. Got some gnats in here tonight or something. So you just have to work with it. Like this one's being stingy and I don't know why, but you just gotta kind of work with it. Whoops. Be careful not to poke yourself because it really hurts. Okay, so I'm coming up to my end point, and for some reason I didn't leave one of these. Usually I leave like a horizontal one, or in my case right now it's vertical. So I'm gonna stop because this one has a name. I always leave a little bit of a bigger gap when I have a name, only because I don't want to crinkle the name all up and like try to pull it through a tight spot. So I leave a little bit of an opening, probably like half my hand. But if I, like this blanket right here, I'll literally only leave maybe 2.5 inches of an opening, not very much, because I can pull the thing right through. But I don't like to do that when I have a name on there, because I don't want to ruin that name. So that one's done, and then I'm going to do this one real quick while we're here. So this one, because now that name's on the opposite side of that one because there was a name on this one, I'm going to start on the top instead of the bottom. See, I literally jinxed myself because I think in my last live I told you guys every single time I do a blanket I wear black, and I don't know why. I don't even think about it. It just happens. So I'm all dirty already. you guys have any questions? I don't even... You don't have man hands. I'm sure you don't. I have small hands. My hands are so small. I'm like I'm a little person. I have small feet, small hands. If you guys are looking for a nice machine, I love this machine so much. I got it, I didn't get it from Sewing Machines Plus, but I know they have it on there. I have it linked in my description too. But this is the machine I started out with for embroidery because I didn't even know I wanted to get into embroidery. I just thought it would be something fun to do or something extra to offer. And I'd never done it before. So I got this machine thinking that I could just play around with it because this is a combo machine. And I just ended up getting really into embroidery after I got this machine and quickly moved into my 10 needle. And now this is solely like my blanket machine and I love it so much. It's super smooth. It's just a really, really good machine. And it has like a bigger hoop size too. Sorry if I'm missing any questions you guys have. After I sew these, I'll read comments. Also, sometimes if you pull it like up, it'll kind of out. I've learned that too. If it's hanging, that's why I like this table because it kind of holds it. If it's hanging down, then it pulls on it. And that's another reason why your minky will move around too. So always make sure it's like up where it's supposed to be. That's why you always see me like moving it around. So this right here is not a problem. Like I always like adjust the corner and it looks like it's coming off more, but then after I cut it at the end, you won't even be able to tell that. That's why I always leave myself extra room. If you guys are wondering why I left like an inch around the whole border, because the minky does slip and slide around when you're sewing it. So that is why I do this, because now look, this slipped. And now after I sew it, it's gonna be on the very edge right here. So I'm gonna be fine. Even if it was a little bit over, it would be fine. Like I'm gonna do a top stitch anyway, so they would never even know. So always account for a little bit of slippage when you're using minky and faux fur together, because it happens, even to the best of us. It happens to me all the time. And the thing is even if, like right now I have my setting. This is just a really stingy blanket. Like it always does this to me. Other ones don't do it, and I don't know why. I have no explanation why this blanket does it and others don't, because there's no explanation for this one. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But I never change my settings. They're always the same, but that is why my tension, I make it lower. So my tension's always set at a 2. And I always stretch my stitch length out to a 4, because with minky and faux fur, you want it to be a little bit looser. You don't want it to be so tight, because it's going to jump up a little, or it's going to like clump up a little bit, and you don't want that. So, because like under here, it's grabbing it. So I just always have to move it around. But when this happens, I have to make sure right here I'm not going over the fur, because then there'll be a hole right there. And that's another reason why I cut it at the length I do, 27 by 36, because the outcome, if this happens, you have that extra wiggle room to like cut off the extra on the outside, and then at least your measurement is still the same. So I give myself an inch around the whole thing on the measurement that I put on my website description and on my cutout. So it just kind of saves you if anything ever happens. That way you don't have to cut out an entire new piece of fabric. You can kind of just work with the one you have. So I'm going to turn you guys over here now. And I'm going to cut out. Let me see. Do you guys have any questions for me really quick? Hi Paulette, how are you? I haven't seen you in a long time either. Well, I haven't been on in a while, so. What size font is good for children do you use? I want to get the Sarah from Stitchtopia, but just wasn't sure of the size. I want to use it for children and adult shirts. Any suggestions? I always use, it depends. So for shirts, I usually use the 1.5 inch font. Sometimes I'll go up to 2 inches, but it just depends on the actual name. On my blankets, I use 1 inch to 1.5 inches. So it honestly just depends on what you're using it on, and I only use the 1 to 1.5 inch ones. I'm sorry, 1 to 2 inch ones. I'm just reading your guys' comments really quick. I do not use a zigzag stitch on my blankets. I was saying I changed the settings for the minky blanket, so I have my settings at my needle is not completely over. It's like, so my setting goes to a 9.0 for so the where the needle is, it's not all the way over to the left, and it's not all the way over to the right. All the way over to the right on my machine is a 9.0. I have it at an 8.0, so it's just barely under 1/4 inch, I'd say. And then I have it, my stitch length. So I have that at a 4, and every machine is different. So you're just gonna have to adjust yours to what yours is. And then my tension, I have it at 2. So you wanna bring that down. Mine goes obviously down to a 0, which most machines do. So you can just adjust it accordingly to how your machine stitches out. Look at me, I'm a mess. I have stuff all over me now. Is the table on your sewing machine available, and is there the website? So Sherry, I got my table at So Steady. I believe you just can go to their website, and you just put in, basically they make the table to the machine you have. So you can get different sizes of the table, there's different options. I got the biggest option because I always make blankets on it, and so I wanted that bigger option. But you can do whatever size you want. I think the next size below this one, I have a 20, let me see, I think it's 32 by, yeah, mine is 32 by 24. So 24 by 32, but the one below this one I think is probably an 18 by, I'd say 28 by something. I don't know. But you can just go to their website and just put in your machine that you have, and they make it to mold to your machine. They're amazing. Just make sure that you double check it when you open it if you end up getting one, because mine was cracked, and so they had to send me a new one. And it's acrylic, so it will scratch and tear up your fabric if it's cracked at all. And they weren't very careful with shipping. Like, not very many companies are careful with shipping. So you just have to look at your stuff when you get it, because they're not cheap either. But they're so worth it. So my next step on the blankets, if you guys haven't seen me make these before, I'm obviously taking out all the pins, and then I'm going to go around and I'm going to cut off all the corners at an angle. Because when you cut them off at a 45-degree angle, then you can poke your corners out really nicely, and there's no bulk. And you bulk. So that helps it from being bulky. And then I'm going to use my loud vacuum again, because I usually cut it at this stage with scissors. It's just, I cut my corners with my scissors, and then I use my rotary blade for the rest, just because it's easier. But you don't have to do that. That's just it. So. I usually do like one area at a time. Instead of turning it, I'm going to use my vacuum, because if I turn it now, there's going to be a big mess, and I don't want that. So I don't know why this part is so satisfying, but it like sucks it all up. Okay, and so now this corner piece where it kind of went off a little bit, I'm just going to cut a little bit of this off right here, not a lot, because I don't want to mess it up, but just enough to where I can tuck this in right here. This little piece needs to tuck in when I do my top stitch. So because that little piece was hanging over, you just want to cut that little piece off a little bit, and you will never be able to tell. Ouch. I missed a pin. That didn't feel great. Here's that. why I always grab at the opposite corner, but I do. I'm just using like almost like a chopstick to point the corners out. It's what I use on my blankets and loveys. You can use pretty much anything. You can use the end of a pen if you want, or you can get one of those little plastic corner turners, which is what I use for like my clothing. But I just find that this is easy for my blankets. I use different things for everything. And so then this little piece right here is where my tag is going to go. So what I do, and so this is where that little piece of fabric messed up, but you can't even tell. You're just gonna tuck it in right here and do a top stitch. And you can't, there's nothing that looks weird about it. You just have to make sure that you leave the same amount of fur along the whole edge right there. And then you're good. I'm very picky about this part because I hate when you can see like where you left that opening. Like on anything you make, if you put a tag on any clothing item or anything, like I'm just always really weird about that. Just always making sure it looks completely even around the whole end. It's just something that I've always been aware of. Just making it look very seamless is what I'm talking about. So you can't even tell like where that, well obviously I have to do a top stitch, but that's where the little corner piece messed up right there. And you can't, after I do my top stitch, you won't even be able to tell. So don't think you have to go cut an entire new piece of fabric if that happens. It's gonna be okay. So when I have a name, I go to the very corner and then I just kind of poke it out. I don't pull it through that hole like I did the other one. I'll be a little bit more gentle. Little bit more gentle. I can't talk. Tongue-tied. This is such a cute boy one. This reminds me of Christmas and just being like in the cool weather with the pine trees and just so cute. Okay, so this one has his little name on it. Tad Joseph. I love everyone's names. They're all so unique. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn you back around here. Do you guys have anything that you need to ask me right now? What kind of outfits? Oh, you guys are talking to each other, okay. Sarah, are you still on here? Have I missed anything? Or Sandy? Good night. Thanks for coming. Did Sarah leave too? Skirted bunny, how cute. Okay, well I'm gonna sew these ones up. If you guys have any questions, you can just ask. Okay, so I don't change any of my settings on this either. I just keep it going and it's the same thing on each one. I do like to start at the top. I don't know why, you don't have to do this. This is just what I do. But I do always start at a top corner just so that I can end the stitch at that corner as well. And I just like to make sure it's all pointed out nice and sharp. So I sometimes will use my seam ripper to do that. And I also always leave my seam ripper right here with me so that I can use it as just kind of like a guide. I guide my blanket through. So I stick the very end of it in the fabric and kind of guide it along. Sorry, my garage just opened it, if you guys can hear that. On the bummies, let's see. Does the waistband on the bummies roll down with the waist? So I have a yoga waistband on mine, and that gives them the option to leave them as like a high waist, or they can roll it. So it's up to them. But it is high-waisted. It's like, I think, about 2 inches. I can measure it when I'm done, but it just gives them the extra option. sparkly one?
Yep.
Nice.
120.
What was the score?
122 to 105.
Nice. Okay, so now I'm getting down to the end where I put my tag in. And so I'll come down here and sew a little bit, but then I will insert my tag right there.
Cross this way.
Hmm?
So that makes no sense. Cross this way.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah. You back for a little bit?
Yeah, I'll be out here for a little while.
Alright, cool. Like,
Okay. I know you guys can't see that right now. I'll show you when I'm done. This is the one that I had to cut that little piece off of, so I'll show you the end result, and you want to be able to tell. I don't know why that happens. It only happens on this bear blanket. Also, always check under here when you're doing your top stitch. I always do this, if you see me do that. I'm moving the fur out from underneath the presser foot, because sometimes it'll like kind of move up there, and you want to make sure it's nice and like flat under there. That's why I always put my arm right here to hold it, kind of like I'm pushing it out almost. If you guys have questions for me and I'm not looking at the computer, tag my name if you know how to do that, so that when I do go through the comments, I can just see it very quickly. I like to have the same amount of fur showing on the edges around. That's why I'm kind of maneuvering it every time. Okay, where's that corner? Right here. You can't even tell that I cut that little piece off right here. So this is where I cut it from because that corner was like off. And so it moved a little bit. I cut like 1/4 of an inch off maybe, but you can't even tell. So, like I said, sometimes it happens. It never happens on pretty much any of my other blankets, only this one. And I don't know why, I have no explanation for it. But, one time I was like, oh my god, I have to start all over. I have to cut a whole new one out. This is obviously in the very beginning when you're like trying to figure things out and all that. So now I'm here to tell you, you don't have to waste your fabric. Just keep moving along. It all works out perfectly fine. Ow, I just poked myself. So I'm doing this one opposite because the name is over here, so my tag's going over here now. When normally I would start at this top corner and sew down and my tag would be down here. But like I said, I do it on the opposite whenever I embroider a name on a blanket. It's just what I wanted, what I like to do. I'm weird with my tags. Probably need to change this needle soon. And the way you can tell, for me, because I only use this for my blankets mainly. Every now and then I'll use it for other stuff, but I haven't in a while actually. It's basically been my blanket machine for a while now. Is the back. You can tell on the minky. Let me show you real quick. So like on the back right here where you can see, you probably can't see right now, but up close you can, it looks very nice, like, you know, the straight. But as soon as your needle starts going bad and you need to change it, I'll show you what it looks like. This one I need to redo. It starts getting like, almost like loopy, where it looks way too loose. And that is because I needed to change my needle. So now I need to go through this blanket, and I didn't look at it when I was sewing it because it seemed fine. And then after I got done doing it, I was like, why is it like that? And it's because I needed to change my needle. So now I got to go through and pick all that out. Yeah, so I need to change my needle. But it's fine right now. I just always check. So sometimes you'll see me when I first start, I'll just look at it just to make sure it looks good, and then I'll keep going if it is fine. Also, another way I can tell it's going bad is if it's not going through very smoothly anymore. Because I don't change my settings or anything, so I know what it feels like. Normally, so if it feels off, then I just know it's my needle. Or obviously if it sounds weird or feels different. I've never had like a threading issue with this machine. Some other machines, those kind of things that you can feel and hear are because of the threading. This one I've never had that issue with, which is a good thing. Like I said, this machine is just really smooth. I need a vacuum, so I'm just throwing it on the ground. I don't normally do that, but okay, I'm done with this machine because those are the only 2 blankets I'm going to do tonight. So I'm going to show you. Let's see. I know. Taking the stitches out is the worst, literally. Yeah, it's just the top stitch, so it's not that big of a deal, but still. Paulette, I use the 9014 stretch Schmetz needle. I had to think about that for a minute, sorry. Do you have to do a lot of sampling and trial and error before you get started selling your items on Etsy? So whenever I make a new product, I have a lot of kids, I know a lot of kids, so I just basically make it and have them use it and try it. I wash it a few times just to make sure the sizing's correct and whatnot. So samples, yeah, but they're for the kids and they wear them, so it doesn't, I just have them try it out and see like how it fits, and that's how I do like my changes on them if they need to be adjusted and whatnot. So to me it's fun because they can wear it, it's something new, and then I can also get pictures because it's with the people that I know. It's either my family or my friends' kids or my neighbors' kids or whatnot. So that's how I do it. Even with my embroidery shirts, my samples I usually just give away. Like I'll make a sample and, okay, so here's a perfect example. For one of my longtime customers who orders from me all the time, ordered a shirt, or one of my rainbow shirts for embroidering, and I always lint roll these after I make them. So she ordered a rainbow shirt that I'd already had on my listing, and I have been wanting to try a different color like scheme on the rainbow. So instead of just, you know, wasting or doing a sample on it, I made it for her because she's been buying from me for a long time. I appreciate her, and you know, it's just something like nice to do. And so when I sent her her order, I had just said, you know, thank you so much for always supporting me and my small business. And here's just a sample shirt that I wanted to do. And it just gives your daughter another play shirt or whatever, instead of having to use it, her nice shirt that she had for her birthday as a play shirt. So I just basically said she can use this and not have to worry about ruining it. So I hope that she liked it or whatever, but it gave me the opportunity to make a sample and be able to take a picture of it, and then I'll get a picture from her out of it, and it's just, you know, fun and easy and a good way to like just make somebody else happy too. So with my blankets, I always fold them with the shorts, or so instead of folding it long ways, I don't know if you guys can see this. So I don't fold it long way like that. I take it short ways and do it like that. If you guys can see that. If they have a name, I always want the name to be showing, but this one doesn't have the name on it. It's just the plain blanket. So in that case, I want the tag to be showing. So when I fold it in half like I showed you, and then I fold it back down again in half. So it's like this now. And then I fold it in like basically quarters, because they fit perfectly in my boxes that I have the way that I do it like this. So I folded it over 4 different times, and this is how it is after I fold it, just a square like that. And then you can kind of see like the fur around the outside. My tag is right here. And then what I'll do is I'll wrap it around with some beads and make it real pretty. I'm just all about packaging, And if any of you have ever ordered from me, you kind of know that I just like it to look pretty, and that's just me. But some people are about packaging and some people are not. It's all personal preference. I just feel like myself, like if I order something, I want it to come to me nicely. I feel like if I get something that doesn't look very nice when I get it, then it's probably not a great product, I guess. I don't know, that's just how I see things. And for me personally, I do not add all of my packaging supplies like into the price of the item like a lot of people do. I don't do that because, again, packaging is my decision, and I'm not going to charge my customer for all these like things that I want to spruce up my packaging for. It's not, because you don't know if they don't really care about packaging or if they do or don't. So I'm not going to make them pay for what I want to do. Plus I do free shipping over $35 anyway, and most of my items are going to be that anyway. So it is what it is. I do charge shipping on like certain items, like my headbands and my pacifiers and stuff like that, because they are such low cost items, and I won't make anything if I don't charge for shipping. So I do charge for that. It's just a set rate. So every item is on its own, I guess. So this one has a name on it, so I want the name to be showing. So I flip it over and I do it the opposite way. It's gonna look the same though, but just with the name showing. So when they open the box, they'll be able to see that. Okay, so where did I put? This one goes here. No name. And then this one goes here. Okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab the strings that I told you guys about really fast. Okay, so this is just string that I got a long time ago on Amazon that I thought I would use for my teethers, but I didn't like it because it was too hard, I guess. I don't know. So now I use it for my blankets, and then when I'm out of it, I'll get something else. But basically, these are just all scraps that I don't use, and it's just to make my packaging pretty. So I had ordered it anyway to use it, and then I ended up not liking it, so I'm just using it for my packaging so I don't waste it. So these are just like beads that I had bought in for my teethers, and I didn't like them, so I don't use them anymore. And then same thing with these. This was just the wrong color of wood. I didn't like this wood. I like beech wood. So this is just a natural oak wood, I think. So I switched it to beech wood for my teethers, and I just didn't want to waste them, so now I use them for my packaging of my blankets, and I think it looks great. The reason why I didn't want to use these ones was because of what I'm doing right now. They didn't saw out the middle very good, and I don't like that. I'm not going to send somebody a teether with all this crud in here, so I get it out and then I use it for my packaging. And they're just gonna throw it away anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so then I put it in their box, and this is how it looks when they get it to them. So it's just like a little drawstring with some beads on it. It just makes it look pretty, rather than just throwing it in the box and leaving it the way it is. Those are done. I always like to get my blankets out of the way first. I don't know why, I just do. I'm gonna go put those over there. Okay, blankets are done. And now we can go sew. I like to clean up as I go, because then at the end of the night I won't want to clean up. So I'm going to move you guys now again back over to the other side now. So close your eyes if you don't want to see movement. Okay, is that a good placement for you guys, or do you want me to put you somewhere else? Two T, 3T, 6 to 9. Okay, so what I'm doing right here really quick is just sewing my waistbands together right here, and they're all different sizes, so I'm just going to keep them with their size really quick and do that. I use a zigzag stitch for this. So I'm just putting the waistbands together right now. I always like to do my waistbands like this first, because then once the outfit or the legs, because they're leggings, is serged, then I can just throw the waistband on there and not have to worry about doing this part at that point. And then all of these. So all of these need to be prepped. I'm going to come around the other side and probably turn you guys, because I need to prep these first. I'm going to grab a drink. Okay. So, as you guys all know, my rompers have to have a stabilizer on them. I use the no-show poly mesh, which I keep in these bins over here. So these are more of the clear bins that I have over there. They're the exact same company. They're just thinner. So I have these little drawers here. I have the bigger ones over there for the fabric. So I prep all of my, this is my stabilizer that I use for my rompers. I cut them, put them in here. That way I can just grab and go. I'm all out of this top one. In here, I usually cut out my sticky back stabilizer, and I use this for my blankets that I use for embroidering the names on them. But I need to cut more of those. And then this one's empty too. I've been busy. This one I usually cut 8x8 little squares of the Tender Touch. I pre-cut those and I put them in here so I can just grab and go when I need them. So I need to do a lot of stocking. Forgot to turn that light on. Okay. So this is my little donut pattern, if you guys haven't seen it, super cute. So I put stabilizer on all of the shoulders because that's where the cam snaps go, and I just like to have I like it to have extra strength, I guess, durability, I don't know what you want to call it. But when you take the outfit on and off of the child, I want it to be secure. When my baby was younger and he would wear these all the time, it tore one time, a hole through it, because I did not have this on there, and I didn't know why it did that. And I guess I ended up realizing that the fabric, even though it's really nice and thick, you have to have a stabilizer on the back of anything that has like buttons for wear and tear. I didn't know that, so I learned that. So it's just little things like that that you learn here and there as you are making. But I was very glad that I realized that on my child instead of selling it and having somebody else let me know that they got a hole in their outfit. So that would have been pretty embarrassing to me. So if you guys are wondering why I use this stabilizer versus any other one, I just like that it's very flexible, so it's not too thick, but it gets the job done, and it's a weave on the back, so kind of like the cutaway stabilizer that I use for my embroidered shirts. It's very flexible, and it's a weave too on the back, so it's not super thick, and it's very easy to sew with. And you can't really feel it, it's not hard, so you can't feel it on the clothing when it's, you know, in there. Sorry if I'm not answering any questions if you guys have any. I'm just not by my computer at the moment. So I usually don't have this many. I mean, I kind of have too many orders over here right now because I like to lay them out on my table and just be organized. And right now, a lot of these items have, or orders have more than one item in them, and I don't like to have too many on the table at one time. Just because I just don't, I don't know. I like to have room to work. This is my little mermaid one. I don't know if you guys have seen this one, but it's so cute. It's just like, all of my prints are watercolor. I love watercolor. There's no really specific amount of time you have to leave it on there for either. I just do it until I feel like it's done. This is a big boy right here. One more. So I always like to prep everything before I even start to sit down and sew, because then you have to get up in the middle of everything and do it. So this one is a non-directional fabric, so I'm always making sure that the stretch is going the right way before I even sit down to start it. So this is another one of my favorites. It's so pretty. It's got like a almost like heather gray background. It's super pretty. There's like a shiny side and a matte side. The shiny side is what you want to be facing down because that's the adhesive side. So if you don't put that down, it's gonna stick to the top of here. Thank you guys all for joining me tonight. I know this is just another work with me that you guys always see, but I appreciate you guys being here and supporting me every time. Okay, I'm gonna move it back up over here. And now we're just going to start sewing. Do you guys have any questions for me? Let's see. Good night, Sandra. See, I can't, the light is like shining in my eye right there. When did you start doing minky blankets? Nellie, I've been doing the minky blankets probably for 4 years, something like that. How late do I usually work? It depends. So today's Monday, and I've been trying not to work on orders on the weekends so that I can spend time with my family. So Monday nights, I probably stay up a little bit later. And throughout the week, I just started getting my babysitter 3 days a week because she just ended school herself. So I have her 3 days a week now, which is very nice because I can work just like a regular job. Like she gets here at 9 and I usually work like 9 to 5. So that is usually 3 days a week. That was starting last week. But she's only here 2 days again this week because my husband planned a trip for us to go out of town this coming weekend. So she's actually going to be here babysitting over the weekend too. So I let her not come one of the days because she's going to be here over the weekend. So that means tomorrow and Wednesday I need to get everything done that I need to get done before the weekend because she's only here for 2 days this week. So I don't really know how late I stay up. It just depends. Every day is different on how many orders I have and how much work I need to get done. Because I'm also, if you don't know, in a store locally, so I have to do inventory for them as well. So I just kind of like work it in as I'm working on orders. So it just all depends on how much I have going on. How do you like your heat press? I have to purchase one. Shirley, so I don't have any issues with my heat press. I actually love my heat press. I don't see any reason for me to buy a more expensive one. I've had this heat press since I started being in Bliss, which was almost over 4 years ago. I haven't had any issues, like I said. It works perfectly fine. It's a 15 by 15 and it gets the job done. I use it every single day, all day long, and I've never had an issue. So with that being said, everyone has their own opinions on them, but I've never had any issues with mine, and it was probably maybe $200. I don't remember, it was so long ago, but I got it on Amazon. It's just the power heat press, I think. My eye's bad right now, so I can't really see it, but I'm pretty sure that's it. I have it linked in my description, but again, I got it through Amazon, and I don't have anything bad to say about it. What fabric do you use on the other side of the minky? For my blankets, the print side is the minky that I get from Spoonflower. And then on the other side it's called Shannon Luxe Cuddle Fur. It's like a faux fur mink, it's faux fur, basically. I get it on fabric.com. So if you go to fabric.com and you search all the different kinds of fabric that you can choose from, there's a box that says go to minky, and then it'll say Shannon Luxe Cuddle, I believe is what it's called. And then any of those in there you can, I usually only get the same kind of faux fur, but all of them are great. So I like the Shannon Luxe Cuddle. That's what I personally use. Okay. If you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask. If you know how to tag my name, because I don't think any of my moderators are here right now, just do the @BeingInBliss, and then it'll highlight my name so I can see that you asked me a question. I'm just plugging my computer in right now. Oh, hi Sandy, I didn't know you were here. So I started this on yesterday, I think, and I didn't finish it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this one. Still getting used to all of my new machines, but I'm loving them all. I really love this one. I use this one for all of my clothing now. And then I use this one over here, my Brother Lock 1034D. I use that for all my nursing pads. And that's basically how I use that one for all my blankets. I'm going to be using this one for my nursing pads. And probably that's it. And then this one will just be for all my clothing. Yeah, no problem, Sandy. You need to go to bed. I'll probably be on this live. I'll probably cut it off at around midnight my time because I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow and I don't want to be tired. So I'm going to start doing this and I won't probably finish it, but I'm going to get it started. So just a heads up. So I use the cutter now, just a little bit, not a ton. In the crotch area, I don't use the cutter, and if it does cut it, it's just very slightly. I just kind of line it up on the edge and cut around it, so it barely nicked it a little bit, but not hardly any. Instead of having to lock it and unlock it and lock it and unlock it every time, I've just kind of been teaching myself to go around the edge of it. Kind of like how I did on this one. Oh, you scared me. I didn't know that one. My brother came in the back door and scared me so bad.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Oh yeah.
Keep up the good work.
So yeah, my brother came in this morning. He thought he had cut all the orders out, and I didn't print them out from Friday on. So yeah, there was a big stack of them, and he was like, ah.
How it always is.
But keeps him busy. Love you. Have a good night. So when I have a bunch of orders out right here, this is what I do. I will sew the cuffs and the waistbands, and I'll sew the bodies together, but I won't sit there and put each of the waistbands and cuffs on them quite yet. I'm gonna go through each one of them and sew the bodies together, and then I'll go through and sit down at the last step. I'll do all the waistbands and cuffs at one time. I just feel like it's faster that way for me. Again, there's no right or wrong way to do that. It's just personal preference and how you feel you're better working. And I don't pin anything, I'm sure you guys have noticed. I just kind of go. I've been doing it for so long, I know what to do. I just line it up with the edge right here. And I did adjust my templates a little bit because I am using the cutter now. And so it's just a tiny bit. Will you be returning the Juki Serger? Yes. I'm going to keep the baby lock. I don't know. Again, it's just all about everyone is different with each machine, I feel like. Everyone uses the machine differently. Everyone has different uses for the machine. Everyone sews with different fabric. So it's just all about what you're working with. And I just feel like this machine works better for me. I don't know. Maybe I didn't give that one enough time, but I don't have the time to sit there and mess with it either. So I just feel like this does what I need it to do. It's super smooth. I understand it like perfectly fine. Like it's just smooth and good. I also really like how the needles are straight up and down on this one and they're not at a diagonal. And I feel like that gives it more punch power, if that makes sense. I use thicker material. My organic cotton knit is a little bit thicker than most. And so I just feel like it works really well with this material. And I don't have to change the settings. That was another huge thing. With this machine, I literally leave it on this same setting for all of it. And so because I only sew with this kind of material, I don't sew or serge with random different kinds of materials. Like I only use this organic cotton knit, and that's all I use. So I never have to change my settings. So whether I'm sewing how this was folded and it was like basically 4 layers, or if I sew this right here, which was just 2 layers, I didn't touch the settings. It serged it exactly the same on both pieces, and I didn't have to mess with anything. On my Juki, I had to change the settings around a lot for each layer of fabric that I used. If they were able to go through the same amount of fabric, because I tested them that way, with one fabric or one piece of fabric, 2 pieces, all the way up to I think 6 layers, and they both went through it very nicely, very smoothly, like no issues with breaking needles or anything like that. So they both have a lot of power. The thing that I chose this one over that one was basically the tension. I didn't want to sit there and mess with the tension every time I was going to go. So like I just did all this right now without doing anything. I would have had to mess with it each time with that. So that's what I mean by that. It was just easier for me in the long run. And you don't have to do your cuffs like I do. Like I do it like this just because it's easier for me. But you can sew them like this, straight on, and then flip them right side out and then fold it up like that when you put them on your pant. There's different ways to do them. I just do it this way because it's one less step in the end, and it's just the way that I've always done it, and I have a habit of doing it this way. I do all my waistbands like this too. So I always tuck the waistband in, or I mean the elastic. That way I know that that goes with that. Because they're all different sizes. And then I use a bigger elastic waistband for anything that is 18 to 24 months and up. So newborn to 12 to 18 months, I use a 1-inch elastic. And then 18 to 24, 2T, 3T and up, I use a 1.5-inch elastic waistband. Your brother helps you out with cutting your material. Yes. So he does cut my material, but if you see me always doing this, I'm always making sure that it's cut. Sometimes every now and then everyone makes mistakes and there's a slip up. So I just always double check it just to make sure. But yes, he does cut out my orders for me. He's not going to be doing it for much longer, so I have to take advantage while I can. Bye, Haiti. Thanks for coming. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Good night to everyone who's going to bed. Good night, Sandy. I think you said you're going to bed. Going tonight? I'm getting tired. It's like, I've already been out here for 2 hours. I don't even know, like, where does the time go? I have no idea. Is that really loud to you guys? I know I always ask that, but I just always need to know if it is or not. I don't know. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Do you guys talk to yourself when you work? I always talk to myself. Okay, this is pretty much done. It's fine. No, it's not. Okay, cool. What made you decide to keep the cutter on? My eyes are so bad tonight with this computer. I know the 1034DU kept it off and getting the serger soon, so I was wondering. Mia, I kept the cutter on because I noticed that when I sewed, let me see, where are these? Like when you put your cuffs on and your waistbands, whenever it would meet up in the middle right here. Do you remember when I would always stop and cut right here? Every time where it met up with like a different seam? I would always stop and cut. And that's because there would always be like a little bit of extra fabric sticking out right here, and it would get caught in the needle. Well, I noticed that with the cutter cut off what I was cutting off right there. So it's like, I might as well just use it because I'm doing the same thing anyway. And then I just started getting used to it and then just kept it on. So there's no reason the reason I didn't use it on my other serger was because I could never get the hang of it. And I didn't feel like learning it, I guess. I don't know. I don't even have an explanation for why I didn't use it. I just didn't use it because I couldn't figure out how to get the seams really nice. And the only way I could get them really nice and tight was without using the cutter on my other serger. With this serger, I never had that problem. It just looked good from the very start. And I think that just has to do with knowledge of sewing, and I never tried it on this one again. I still haven't even tried it on this one. So I bet you anything, if I turn the cutter on this one, I could figure it out in probably a second, but I just never even tried. So that's my explanation. I don't really know. I just started using it and now I like it. So there you go. I feel like the seams where they meet up are just a lot cleaner with the cutter. But with the bummies, I don't use the cutter around the crotch area because I don't want to cut that off because it like curves. So I don't want to ruin that curve. On the leggings, it's easier because it's a bigger curve. On the bummies, it's just this little tiny curve. So it's a lot easier to ruin that. So I just adjusted my templates on like the leggings and stuff. Hopefully I'm making sense to you guys. I don't know. I'm still working everything out, so I'm still learning with it too. I'm a creature of habit. So with all the machines that I've had them for 4 years since I've started sewing. So with all these new machines that I have, it's like I'm getting it because I know how to sew now, but it's still like a work in progress. You know, with anything new that you get, you have to practice and practice and practice, and then it becomes easy. Same thing with my embroidery machine. This one, I know like the back of my hand now because I've had it since October, I think, November. And I use it so much that like I just know the settings, I know what to do with it, I know how to thread it super fast, like I just know everything about it. With my new one, it's super easy too, but I'm just still not quite there with being very fast with it. So it'll be, you know, it's just a matter of time. So don't give up, just keep going at it. That's what I do. Just keep going. Eventually one day, it literally just clicks. Do you guys know what I mean? Hasn't that happened to any of you guys? Like with all my machines, it's like one day, it's like, why did I not understand that or know that before? And it's just so simple. One day you just get it. So another thing that I want to add to my website, if you guys weren't on the live in the beginning, I had announced that I was going to start doing matching pillows for all of my baby blankets and loveys. So I've made pillows before, I just haven't made them with the blanket material that I use. So that'll be probably a learning curve, but I'm excited. And another thing that I want to add to my shop is personalized bags, like diaper bags, but not the standard everyday diaper bag. I want it to be a little bit different, so I'm still working on what I want and my pattern and all that good stuff. So, but I wanted to have an option of some sort of bag Because like I said, all of my stuff in my niche is mommy and baby. So I wanted to be able to incorporate something that the mom can use, but also be used for the baby, if that makes sense. So, but I also wanted to be able to add an add-on like I do for my loveys and blankets of embroidery. So I know a lot of people get like personalized backpacks and lunch boxes and stuff like that for their kids when school starts. But I also was thinking, you know, with a newborn baby, you need a bag. So I thought it would be really cool to incorporate something that matched like their baby blanket or something like that. So, because like with Spoonflower, I can get like a duck canvas or something like that for the bag material and have it match the blanket that they're getting and the lovey that they're getting and the pillow that they're getting, like have everything coordinate and have their name on all of it. So that's what I want to do. But that is one thing I'm very nervous about. I haven't even sat down and tried to make the bag yet because I have never made a bag before. I've made little pouches and stuff like that when I first started sewing, but I've never made a real handbag before. So stuff like that is intimidating to me because I've never done it. And if I want to do it to sell on my site, then I want it to be like good. And I don't want to have to worry about it, like breaking or coming apart or anything like that. And I want a nice machine to make it on. So like I think my industrial over here can make bags, but I don't know if it's meant to make bags, if you get where I'm going. So I don't know. I might need to get a different machine for the bags. I'm not sure. But I'm super excited about it. Just kind of nervous. Aw, thank you, Sarah. I really appreciate that. I'll buy a coffee in the morning with that. So I appreciate it. You guys don't have to, you guys do not have to do that, but I appreciate it. Thank you. And talk to myself too. It's too much genius to keep in my head. You're funny. I am worried I will have a hard time at first just controlling how much I cut off, but I've gotten better at sewing straight, so I'm going to pull through. Yeah, just less is more. So just don't pull it all the way off, but also know that, you know how when I didn't use my cutter on the serger, I would almost like, if this was the cutter, I don't know if you can see, if this is the cutter and I had my fabric kind of over, you can't see what I'm doing. How do I say this? The fabric wasn't straight going through. Remember I had it like on a lip, it was almost like lip up, I guess. I don't know how to say that. And then it would like sew out really nicely. If I had it straight down and sewed through, there would be like a little gap right there. And so it didn't look tight and it was very loose. So I taught myself without using the cutter that I had to make a little lip on it so that it would go through and sew nicely. So that was just a habit that I did to lean it up against the cutter without it cutting. So that's what I do on this machine now with the cutter on. I still do the same exact thing. If I don't want to cut the fabric off, I'll just lean it up against it. So when the cutter's going and the fabric's underneath, it's obviously cutting it off. But if the cutter's going and your fabric is up like this on it, like at, you know, over it this way, it's not underneath of the cutter. It's up on top of the cutter. So it's still going through it, it's just not getting cut off. So you just kind of have to work with it and kind of figure out like how to do that. That's what I do on the crotch seam. If I don't want to cut it off, I put it in front of the blade, not under the blade. So hopefully I explained that okay. You just have to mess with it. Just do it with a bunch of scrap fabric. That's what I did. I pulled out a bunch of that stuff that like I can't use. I just started going at it. But you want to use the same material that you're going to be using with your outfit, because you want it to stitch the same way. With the same settings is what I mean. Yeah, Nelly, the package thing. I'm all about the package thing right now. Just like a newborn gift set or something like that, because I have so many people, because I do a lot of baby stuff, so I have so many people buying for baby showers or new moms or just whatever. Their friend is pregnant or their nephew or their niece or whatever. So it's just a good thing. It's just such a good present to give. It's something cute. Like, you can't just go to the store and buy all this like personalized matching stuff. So I don't know, just trying to think outside the box and try new things. You think it would do bags good? Okay. Yeah, I see the Juki sewing machines a lot making the bags. That's what I was thinking. I think mine can do it. I just don't know how heavy of a material I can use and how much thickness I can use with it. And I didn't want like an elaborate diaper bag. I wanted just like a big shoulder bag, very like trendy, just something that they can put their stuff in, like a diaper, almost like putting like a bag inside of a bag, you know, like a bag to hold some diapers in, throw that in there, almost like a big like Louis Vuitton bag, but obviously not Louis Vuitton. But just something like that sort. So Mia, I'm not going to cut this off. So I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So I'm just going to be putting it up against the blade, not under the blade. I don't think you can see this. Let me show you. So I didn't use the cutter on this, but it still like got right up against there and stitched it out just perfect, instead of it going underneath the blade. And then this right here is doing it with 4 layers with the cutter. So they look basically exactly the same. I don't know, it's not focusing. So that's with the cutter. So it looks pretty much the same, it's just thicker because there's 4 layers. So, but again, it's just with practice. Just keep doing it over and over again. And it is just very important to know like what you're sewing with. Like it's easy for me because I only sew the same exact material. Like that's just what I sell in my business is the same material. I don't change it up, but that's why I have a machine for clothing. I have a machine for blankets. I have a machine for my nursing pads because it's different material. I have a machine for pretty much everything. So it just makes it easier that way for me because I don't have to switch the tensions around or the settings or anything like that. I just go. That's why I have sewing machines. Thanks, Amber. Yeah, I will take a few days to play with it as soon as I get it. Yeah. It's a lot of videos to watch, Mia, but have at it. Yeah, Connie has some great tips too. And we use different materials, so take tips from both of us because I know everyone uses different material. Good night. Good night, Sandy. Go get some rest. Love you. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Okay. So because I have what, 3 rompers. I gotta put the sizes on them. So I'm just sewing the cuffs and I'm serging the raw edge of the liners, and then I'll come back and put the body pieces together instead of doing it right now, because I like to put my labels on the rompers first before I sew the body together. That's just what I've always done. I don't know. You don't have to do it that way. I just think it's easier doing it that way, because then your tag is already on the whole outfit and you don't have to flip it inside out and put it on or anything like that. I only do it for my rompers like that. I don't do it for everything that I sew. The rompers just have so many pieces to them that makes it easier for me to do it that way. Okay, so here's a perfect example, you guys. Look. They ordered a winter floral romper, and it has a picture. So this is what I mean by these kind of Etsy's invoices. They put the picture next to it, which I love. My website doesn't do that, so it confuses me. But this picture looks like this print. It's not this print though. So that is another thing that I always double check, because my brother does cut out my orders. What was that word? I couldn't think of the word. So he cuts out my orders, but this isn't the one I need. So unfortunately I can't use this one. They ordered a winter floral romper, which is my beige floral one. This is my mauve floral one. So they're different. So I'm gonna have to put this one aside. And what I do with this now that I can't use it is I'll still sew it up, and I'll use this one for my inventory for the shop that I'm in locally. So what I'll just do is put a 3 to 6 tag on here and know that this is 3 to 6 months, and then I'll either put it in the back of my shop for an order that comes in, or I'll give it to the shop that I'm in locally. So I have to recut this one. But that's why I double check. Always double check. Well, if you have someone helping you. It's not a big deal. It's just sometimes unfortunate when the order needs to go out and that happens. But it's okay. Mistakes happen, right? That's a good thing. That's why I always double check, because it's a good thing I caught it, because the picture looks pretty similar to that material. I love that Etsy has those pictures on there. It makes it so much easier. I wish they were a little bit bigger though, because, or a little bit clearer, because they're so little that you just glance at it and you're just kind of like, okay, I know what that is. But some of them look so similar. I have a lot of floral ones, so I can see how it gets confusing. But like with this one, it's named Mermaid, so obviously he knows what mermaid is. I don't have any other mermaid ones, so it's easy. I think I'm gonna go to bed soon, guys, because it's almost midnight and I have to be up early tomorrow. But I might go live tomorrow, so if you guys are around in the daytime, I have my babysitter tomorrow, so if you're around, I might go live. Okay, so I am going to answer some questions and talk to you guys for a minute before I get off of here. But I'm going to end it with the sewing for now. I have to cut that out because that was the wrong print. So I'm going to show you guys which one it is actually. It might already be cut. It was a 3 to 6 month. I might have one cut already, which I don't. Maybe, maybe not. I don't. I thought I did. I'm going to show you guys though how it looks so similar. So this is my winter floral, the one it was supposed to be cut. This is the one he cut. So this is my mauve floral and this is my winter floral. So, I mean, they look different in person, but on a invoice, they look similar. So I can see how that happens. Okay. So if you guys have anything you want to say to me, I'm going to sit down here and answer some questions right now before I get off and talk to you guys. And then tomorrow I might go live during the day. And I'm going to have somebody here with me. I don't want to say who because I want you guys to be surprised. But it's going to be a fun day tomorrow. Sarah, I'm going to, I think, because I'm going to have somebody here with me, and I think it'll just be fun to work with someone, chat with all you guys, and just have fun. Like, just to see how I've never worked with anybody before. So I'm super duper excited to have somebody be able to help me work that already knows what they're doing. That's, you know, basically does the same thing as me. So it's going to be super amazing to just be like, okay, I need you to do this. Like, or okay, can you help me do this? Or let's do this, or let's do that. Like, and not have to be like, this is how you do it, because they already know how to do it. So I'm so excited. So I'm Pacific Standard Time. So right now it's 11:45 my time. So I will, if I go live, it probably won't be until after lunch because the mornings get away from us so fast. So we're gonna have lunch together, and then after that, we'll probably come back and do some more work and probably go live. So I would say maybe like 2, between 1 and 2 my time. Does that work for you guys? I ordered my cover stitch through your link, but so nervous to open the box. Oh, Martha, thank you so much. Do not be nervous. It looks intimidating. Trust me, I was intimidated when I first got mine as well. It's so easy, and it is such a good machine. I love it so much, and it makes your garments look just next level. But if you need any help with it, just message me and I can help you. I can walk you through it. I was thinking about, you guys know I'm not tech savvy at all, but I was thinking about maybe setting up a through Facebook. You can do like a private Facebook group, and whoever, you know, purchases anything through any of my links, I was thinking about doing personal, or like a page, you know, just like a help page, and just to be able to like talk about what machines we got, and if you needed help, it could just be like a private Facebook group. So yeah, I'm still thinking about that, and if I want to do it or not, because I don't really know how to set all that stuff up and do all it. I like to have Instagram. Instagram is easy to me though. I just don't know all the ins and outs of every different platform. but I just feel like, you know, I know how to work the machines that I work with every day, and if you guys purchase those machines, like these ones right here especially, or even my FAF or my JANOME, I know them so well that if you have any questions, I'd like to be there to help you answer any of those questions that you have. I'll hide in my office and watch you live. Shh, I won't tell. Is it possible to make a template of your romper for sale? I don't even know how to, like do the PDF or anything like that. So like I said, I'm not tech savvy at all. So I don't even know how they make their patterns. Like I just do it from scratch on cardstock or whatever. Maybe when you print out your invoices you can enlarge them to 125% so that your picture is bigger and easier to see. Ah, Michelle, I didn't even think of that. See, genius right there. I literally just click on the square and it gets all of my orders, and then I just print at one time. The only thing that I do different is if it's a gift, I will print out both sheets, one for me and then one just the gift to give to the person they gifted it to, because I still need to see what they ordered. All the other orders, I just literally print out this right here. It's just one piece of paper, and this is what I give to them as their invoice with the price and everything on it. If it's a gift, I don't put the price on there. So, but yeah, 125%. I'm gonna try that and see if that works, because that might be able to be a little bit clearer for him to see what pattern it is if it's confusing. It doesn't happen often. I think that's only the third time it's happened, but still. Okay guys, if you don't have anything else for me right now, hopefully you guys can be there tomorrow with me. It'll be fun. It'll be something different. It'll still be a work with me because I have to get all these orders out, but it'll be more interaction and more fun, just more talking and chatting. Yeah, so it'll be a lot of fun, I think. But if you guys don't have anything else for me right now, I'm probably gonna say good night, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. All right, guys, have a good night. Thank you guys all so much for being here. I appreciate all your guys' support always. And even when I have to take a few nights off, you know, each week, you're still here every time I'm on. So I appreciate you guys more than you ever know. And I just feel connected with each one of you guys every time I'm on a live. So I appreciate it, and I can't wait to just continue with you guys on my journey and have you guys be here with me. So have a good night, you guys, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Bye.